Selamat siang, selamat berjumpa kembali dengan saya Iksan dalam channel Dioz Channel, Diaspora in Australia. Saya ada seorang tamu, anak muda, profesional di Australia, seorang young engineer, insinyur muda. Dia tidak lain adalah keponakan saya sendiri, anak dari abang kandung saya, Zulharman Zakir. Insinyur muda ini bernama Steven Zakir, seorang insinyur muda yang berkarir di Australia, khususnya Sydney. Sekarang bekerja pada sebuah perusahaan kontraktor di Australia yang tengah mempunyai sebuah proyek. Itu proyek Metro Railway.
Yeah, Metro.
Okay, Metro Rail. Okay, with me, I got Steven with me now. Yep. He's already with me. Hi, Steven.
Hello, Om. How are you?
Baik-baik saja. Steven, okay. Can we mix up the language between Indonesia and English?
Yeah, I'll try. I'll try to just naturally speak Indonesian and English. Typically, when I'm at home, I speak between English and Indonesian to my parents. So, yeah, we'll see how it goes.
Oke, ya pemirsa, Steven lahir dan besar di Australia, tapi dia selalu ingat pada negara asalnya Indonesia. Sekarang dia telah berkarya di sebuah perusahaan besar di bidang engineering. Untuk itu saya akan memberikan beberapa pertanyaan pada Steven mengenai bagaimana dia bersekolah di Australia, bagaimana kehidupan di Australia, dan bagaimana pekerjaannya dia. Okay. Steven.
Yes.
Okay. There are a few things I want to ask you. The first thing, before you go to work at school in here, how do you go to school? Do you feel comfortable to study in Australia as you are Asian? Do you feel okay study comfortable in Australia?
Yeah. Like when I was in school, I had a lot of friends. Very mixed background. I live in Lakemba in Sydney, Australia. So
yes.
Lakemba is very multicultural. You know, there's a lot of Indonesians. There's a Vietnamese, Lebanese, Islanders, Tongans, Samoans. So, you know, there is no sort of racism, or you feel sort of you sort of feel a bit like left out in school. I was very had a lot of friends at school growing up.
Yep.
So going to school was good. Obviously my parents put me into a lot of tutoring, a lot of coaching as I was growing up as a kid.
Yeah.
So I had a lot of coaching. Spent after school. Had to go to school again after 3 o'clock. You finish school and you have to go to school again after study. And then they put me into piano. I had to do ballroom dancing. So I had a lot of
almost many things.
Extracurricular activities.
A lot of extra activities after school to support your study. So your parents very care about the education of the kids.
Yeah.
Setelah high school, ya itu tadi pengalaman Steven bagaimana dia sekolah di Australia. Dia tidak pernah merasakan diskriminasi selama di Australia ini. Steven, waktu Steven di uni, how do you feel? How do you think about study in Australia here? Enjoying or hard, difficult in uni?
Obviously, to get to uni in Australia, the government helps you by providing HECS, to subsidise you at uni. So
high school
going to university wasn't hard for me. I just had to get the marks, and then the government pays for it, and then I pay it back. So it's not hard in that respect. I know some countries you have to have the money to go to university, so there's no government support. So over here it was pretty easy.
Quite easy in Australia to get to uni, as long as you performs well in high school.
Yeah, you have to perform well, otherwise you're wasting time.
Yeah. That's why your parents, when you were in high school or primary school, they're giving you a lot more education, a lot more tutorial to get you better on education.
Yes.
And then easy, when you get a better mark in high school, easy for you to go to university.
A lot of opportunities. Not just engineering. I could have done business. I could have done,
anything you want.
Yeah.
Kenapa Steven memilih jurusan engineering?
Because as I was growing up, I always liked cars. You know me when I was growing up. I loved cars, V8 supercars, Ford, Holden. I always loved
Yeah.
cars growing up. You know, my dad bought me a dirt bike, you know, when I was growing up.
Yeah.
Always loved petrol, you know, engines.
Okay.
And originally I wanted to become like something to do with like, you know, Ford or a big company to do with
Yeah.
machines, engines, developing engines. And then as I was growing, and that was my interest, as I was, you know, getting towards uni,
Yep.
I had to look at my career a bit more and think about what job opportunities are there in Australia.
Yes.
And Australia is not very strong in developing engines. It's more, you know,
Okay.
the Germans,
Yeah,
the
more German,
Japanese,
Japanese or America,
or American. So, and I
but
thought,
now South Korea as well.
Korea. So, and I thought, what's secure in Australia? But engineering, still, you know, that sort of
Still
same field.
engineering side.
Yes.
Okay.
And I thought civil engineering.
Civil engineering.
Everything needs a civil engineer. A bridge
Yep.
needs a civil engineer.
Yeah.
A wharf on the marine needs a civil engineer. A building needs a civil engineer. A tunnel needs a civil engineer. So
Many jobs and many aspects on here need civil engineering
100%.
work.
that's why I chose civil engineering.
Oke. Sekarang Steven bekerja di perusahaan apa?
So I work for a company called Lang O'Rourke, Australia.
Land O'Rourke.
Lang O'Rourke, yeah, they're international.
Okay.
Head office is in UK, in London.
In London, yeah.
But they're international. They work in Asia, Hong Kong, Dubai.
Yeah.
They had operations in Canada as well.
Yeah.
But they are international, yeah.
International company.
Yeah.
So what project you're doing now?
So at the moment, I'm working in building construction.
I see, yeah.
So I'm working at the University of Sydney, Engineering and Technology Precinct.
I see.
So we're creating a new building for the University of Sydney that will host
Yeah.
biomolecular engineering studies.
Okay. What role you do in the job? Yeah.
So over there, I look after the structure, the structure of the building, and I'm looking after the structural steel of the building as well, and
see.
looking after the landscaping, the civil works,
Yeah.
and
Okay.
a bit of the facade as well.
Yeah.
So just generally an overall engineer that looks after, you know, generally the whole building sort of thing.
I see. Okay.
Yeah.
Ya, Steven, itu tadi sedikit keterangan mengenai background dari Steven dan apa yang dia kerjakan sekarang ini dalam profesinya sebagai engineer. Tapi sebelum kita lanjutkan acara kita, tolong subscribe dulu channel ini, like and subscribe karena itu semuanya gratis, free, ya, tidak bayar untuk subscribe-nya. Oke, Steven.
Yeah. I try to speak Indonesian now. I try to speak. I try.
Ya, boleh. Steven mix up Indonesia dan English.
Yeah.
Kalau Steven bicara dalam bahasa Inggris, when you talk in English, please don't talk that quick, that fast.
Yeah.
Maybe the viewers a bit confused what you're saying.
I know. Yeah.
Oke, Steven. Steven, selama Steven bekerja di Australia ini sudah 5 tahun, 4 tahun bekerja di Australia ini? Berapa tahun Steven sudah bekerja di sini?
5 years.
5 tahun bekerja. Apa Steven mengalami permasalahan dalam bekerja di sini? Do you face any problem to work?
Never had problems.
Never have problems? I mean, about work could be cannot get along with your boss, cannot get along your subordinate, something like that?
Oh, never. I never had that. Enggak pernah ada feeling kayak gitu.
So, what is the key? What is the kuncinya supaya kita bisa get along with everyone at work? Apa kuncinya itu?
Look, you have to be social. You have to, like, you know, in Australia there is a way of life.
Yeah.
You know, and
Sosial maksudnya itu kita bergaul.
yeah.
Bergaul
Harus
sama.
bisa bergaul. Kalau nggak bisa bergaul,
Yeah.
it's you know, work is one thing. You know, you might be good at doing your work.
Yeah.
But if you can't like bergaul with, you know, your senior, your boss,
Yeah.
you know, that's your opportunity for you to keep going up.
Keep going up, grow
You know,
out within the company.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So,
So-
I think that's the most important thing. You have to be able to speak,
Yeah,
socialize,
socialize,
you know,
Able to talk.
talk,
Yeah.
and talk with confidence at
Correct.
work.
Yeah.
You just can't be an awkward person. I think it's not hard. It's just you have to be social. You have to talk.
Have to talk to anyone at work,
Oh,
not
yeah.
only just your superior, just to your subordinate as well.
Of course, yeah. And if you can't, then like, you know, especially in my field of work, every day I got two phones. So one phone is my personal phone,
Yeah.
and then the company gives me a work phone.
Yeah.
Because if I put it on my personal phone, I'll get, you know, 30, 40 calls a day.
Yeah.
And if, you know, if you're talking on the phone all the time and you're explaining things,
Yes.
sometimes they're out there on site, you're in the office, and they need to understand something. You have to be able to communicate.
Correct.
Otherwise, they do the wrong thing.
Communicate, not just language.
Yes.
The way of to communicate is how to communicate. You get your message get through, isn't it?
Yeah.
To make you someone who communicate with you understand what you want, isn't it?
Yeah. Exactly. So I think that's the most important thing: communication. And then you have to just be social. You have to get along with everyone. You can't, you know, you can't not get along with certain people.
Oke, Steven, itu part pertama dari bagian kita. Sekarang kita ambil break dulu.
Yeah.